What is going on, you guys? Ryan from Wadvigs here, and welcome back to another edition of Mail Call, but more importantly, welcome back, should specify actually, to the 99th episode of Mail Call. This will be the last double-digit Mail Call, which is absolutely insane that we have gotten this far from when I started a few years ago. And this episode 99 is going to be awesome because we have a ton of figures to unbox, and not just figures, and I'll explain that. But as you can see, these boxes are huge. It's kind of going to be hard to open it right here. I'm going to have to do it one by one, I think starting with the smaller box, but I'm very excited to get this all open. And not only that, next week I also have, well, by the time I'm filming this next week, I have some pre-orders coming in, so that's going to be 2 more figures after we unbox all of these. So let's go ahead and start with the smaller box. Alright, got my keys out right here. We're going to go ahead and cut this open. It's been a while since I've opened some big boxes from Amazon. I'm very excited to do so. Let's go ahead and just slide this right down the middle like that. Move it over. My, whatchamacallit in the background's falling down. There we go. Just going to cut that. Let's go ahead and get the other side as well. Now, there are, I think, like 8 figures in here, if I am correct. And also a ring, sort of. So I'll explain that. You'll see it. Let's go ahead and crack this open. Okay, so yeah, this one is the box with all of the figures in it, like I assumed. And yes, there is a lot inside of there. Let's go ahead and get some better lighting. Let's start things off here with this guy right in the middle. Not the greatest figure, but I do need it because of the championship as well. I'm going to be doing a fix-up on this on the next start to finish. We've got Heath, Slater right here. Kind of an older figure, but I needed another SmackDown Tag Team Championship, plus an updated Heath Slater figure, you know. Not that bad, not that bad. Here we have a figure that seems to be shelf warming almost everywhere. I saw a picture on Instagram with like 20 of them in one store. Here we have the Defining Moments Chris Jericho, which I've been meaning to get for so long. It's only like $13. Really good looking figure. A lot of people have it already, so it's not really, you know, that special, but 2 championships and a Jericho figure, I mean, it's really, really awesome. And a little sneak peek at the pre-orders coming in. One of them is a Jericho, so I'm sure you already know what figure that is. Here we have the WrestleMania Randy Orton. I'm also going to be doing a fix-up on this, and I'm really excited to get a closer look at the head skin, which looks really good on the image, but actually the way this looks, it looks like he's bald. Do you guys see that? But it's the hair is there, it's just the forehead's pretty big. In real life, it looks not the greatest, so again, really excited to get a closer look at this guy because I actually really like the packaging. I needed another Orton, and I'm going to do a fix-up on start to finish with the Elite 35 figure. Let's go ahead and move on here to this one. This is Seth Rollins, another figure I've wanted for a long time since I saw it. Another Elite Rollins. I think I have... Rollins might be up there with the most elites that I have of a single wrestler. And this attire is super unique. Obviously, his WrestleMania attire from when he fought Triple H. So this is going to be really cool to take a look at. I love attires that they make that a superstar has really only wore one time, just because they seem more special. And this Rollins obviously lives up to that. So we have 2 more in this box, but we still do have some more figures in the other one, if I am correct. Here we have Roman Reigns. I've needed this Reigns for the new head scan. Also, I love the black and white look, and this is the one with the sneakers, right? Yeah, the white sneaker at the bottom. This Roman Reigns head scan is awesome. Also comes with some really good accessories as well. So, and the final one in this box here is the Woken One, or the Broken One, Matt Hardy. My second Elite Matt Hardy. I only have the Epic Moments, and I'm going to be doing a fix-up again on the next start to finish with this guy, probably swapping around some of the parts. This head scan actually does look way better in person than it did on the image. I was kind of worried about it, but really excited to get this open. Also another Raw Tag Team Championship. So that does it for the first box. Before we get all of these opened, we're going to open up the second box right now, so let me just go ahead and move this out of the way. So I'm going to actually open this from the bottom, or from the top to bottom, I should say, so I might not be able to capture it all on camera because this is way bigger than the last box. So let me just try to do this kind of off camera. It'll probably be easier anyways. It's actually not just, there's like some, it's not just tape that's holding it together, but okay, here we go. Yes, this is what I was looking forward to a lot because it's very interesting. Something I haven't done a lot of mail calls is assemble things, right? So here, I'm trying to rip this open. Like I said, this is not just an ordinary figure. This is a ring that we got. And let's go ahead and take it out. It is actually way bigger than I thought. Oh boy, this was fairly expensive as well. I'm trying to get this into frame. I gotta throw this box because there's not enough room. But this is the Raw, I don't know what the exact ring is called. Main event ring, I think it's called. I gotta move these figures out of the way because there's not enough room. This is the main event Raw ring, which, you know, from what I've heard is not the greatest ring, but I got it specifically for this guy. So I paid like $65 for it. I was looking at Goldberg by himself, and he was going for around $40, $45. So I figured if I'm just going to get Goldberg, I might as well pay an extra $25 to get this ring, which looks fairly interesting. I know it's in scale size, but I believe it's built like a spring ring, if I am correct. And it lights up. That's kind of corny. But mainly for this guy right here, Mr. Goldberg. The first Elite Goldberg figure, which I can't wait. I've always wanted a Goldberg. So we're going to get it open. We're probably going to assemble it as well. Take a look at the announcer's table, which looks really awesome. The chairs, everything about it. It might be the start of a new setup. I don't really know if I'm going to use this ring, but we'll see. So that's what we have for right now. We're going to go ahead, I think, start with the actual figures, and then we will move on to the ring and, of course, Goldberg. So let's go ahead and do that right now. The first figure we're going to go ahead and look at is this Seth Rollins. Again, like I talked about, this attire is obviously just super unique compared to all of the other Rollins attires. Sort of like his King Slayer attire, of course, when taking on the King himself, Triple H. So we're going to go ahead and get this opened up. It is a great feeling to be back with mail call. And I promise you guys, mail calls are going to become a more constant thing once I'm done with, of course, 99 here today, and then eventually 100, because they're very special. So I obviously want to do big things for them, but here we go. We're not even going to pick up that stand. I really do not care about them. Here is the Rollins, though. We're going to take him out of his casing, as always. See, yep, they did wrap him in this freaking clear wires, man. They've always been the death of me. Every Mattel figure that has them. Just why? We don't need them. We get it. They're secure. I think it's stuck around his torch, which, of course, we're going to look at right here, and was what he came out with during his entrance at WrestleMania 33, right? Here it is. He did the whole waving thing, and it's pretty detailed. You know, you got, well, I shouldn't say pretty detailed. It's supposed to be a flame or a torch that he, you know, waved around during his entrance. So there you go. There's that. He obviously comes with a vest that matches his attire, which is actually pretty detailed. There's a lot of, like, gold mesh on the outside that matches. It's all molded onto, which is really good for Mattel. You know, usually they don't do stuff like this, but it looks really awesome. Obviously got the Shield SR logo in the middle. It's basically like a pretty flat gold, kind of, not bronze, but gold, just a really dull gold all around it, then a black trim on the outside. Let's go ahead and take this off so we can look at the actual figure itself. And the head scan is easily amazing. You know, I just made a video about head scans. But this is actually the head scan I tried to recreate, I believe, on the first episode of Start to Finish with the NXT face and the long black hair. This is a great head scan. Obviously, you've got the torso that comes on every Rollins figure. Interesting, he's got some gold wristbands instead of the black that he usually has, which looks great with this attire, which is really, really awesome because this is all molded on and not painted. I mean, Mattel really went the extra mile with this figure. A bunch of details going on. It looks incredible. This might be actually one of my favorite Rollins figures. I just love how they did all of this paintwork and the molding. I mean, you don't usually expect stuff like this from Mattel. They could have easily painted on. He's got some gold knee pads, and the mold, well, actually on the boots is actually just painted on, but it still looks great. You can see all the designs. Really, really cool. It's sort of like a rusty silver on top of this gold. Very, very nice figure. This Rollins is really cool looking. I love how this is going to stand out compared to all the other Rollins. Just getting a test and a feel for its articulation, you know. Pretty standard, pretty standard. Very good start, though. This Rollins is great. We're going to go ahead, put him to the side. Also, take his figure and just throw that out right over there. And we're going to move on to our next figure, which is Matt Hardy right over here. And like I talked about, this head scan did not look that great to me on the images online, but looking at it in person, it is much, much better. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. Anyways, moving on here. Here we have him. God damn it, they really need to get rid of these. I know the diorama pieces are cool or whatever, but just, we don't need them. Alright, nobody uses them. Here is Matt, though, in his unique green attire. But first things first, let's go ahead and get a look at the Tag Team Championship right over here. Of course, this one I don't think is any different from the other ones that Mattel has shipped out. Just pretty standard, your Raw Tag Team Championship. That's my third or fourth one, if I am correct. Here we've got Matt, though. Let's go ahead and take him out of his casing. And what I plan on doing with the fix-up is putting on the Epic Moments head scan, just because I think that head scan is one of the best. And then swapping this one onto the other body, then also putting on some black wrist tape. But looking at the face right here, you know, it's pretty good. I definitely prefer the Epic Moments, just because it's more expressive, also has a better resemblance to Matt, but this one is still really good. It looks way better from the sides than it does the front. You look at it from the front, his forehead's a little big, but you look at it from the sides, I see a perfect resemblance to Matt Hardy. Obviously, he's got his hair painted like he has it. White wrist tape and hand tape instead of black, which I'm going to try to be swapping. He's got his signature torso, like Road Dogg or Uso style. And then we move on to the pants now. Actually, yes, it is molded on. Some of the details are molded on, but it's a green attire, which is super, super colorful, stands out from the rest. And he's got some gold designs. They actually kind of match the Rollins a little bit. They kind of look similar if this were gold or silver. He's got some stitching right there on his you-know-what. His belt, obviously. The designs go all the way around. Your signature Matt Hardy designs, just in different colors. A very nice figure. I still think I'd prefer the Epic Moments over this one, although I do still like this one a lot. But I think after I do my fix-up, this is going to look way better. I'm actually really excited to get this one open, too, because of the head scan and, of course, the accessories that I talked about. Here we have Roman Reigns. Not a fan favorite by any means, but we're going to go ahead and crack him open, as always. I don't know why I always open it from this side. It's just a habit. I think this one is actually way easier to open. Oh, boy. Wow, that all just fell out. Like I said, this man comes with a lot of accessories. One of them, of course, including your standard Mattel table, which is like every other Mattel table. And then a steel chair, or a plastic chair, that is not apart right now. So we're going to go ahead and try to assemble it and open it up. There you go. I actually don't like this material they use on the chairs. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's always kind of bothered me. I don't know why, but there you go. That's pretty standard, you know, your regular chair and table. But now let's go ahead. Jesus Christ, that's loud. It's always so loud taking him out of that. And look at this Roman Reigns figure. Looking at the head scan first, which is what I was, of course, most excited for, and I think is the best Roman Reigns head scan. They captured a great, serious look. Also looks like Reigns. But my favorite part about it is the beard. I've always wanted Roman to keep this beard. I thought he's always looked badass with it. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. I don't know why there's yellow on his hair. But this is really, really cool. Love this a lot. Of course, he's got his black hair. He's got the black and white vest. I'm a fan of black and white, which is why another reason why I got this. Also, his wrist gauntlets, I don't know why they started painting them on. Remember, they used to be molded and, like, really cool. Now they are painted on. And also on the back, which is not actually strapped, of course. This is the more recent design. I don't know if you guys remember the Elite 33 and you had to strap it on the sides. That was kind of annoying. I think this design's better. He's got the black and white design that continues on his back. And I guess beyond the rest, the most interesting part is the boots or the sneakers that he wore with the white bottom. So that's really it. I mean, a pretty basic Roman Reigns figure from head to toe, minus the unique head scan, which again is fantastic. And the shoes, really, that's the only key parts about it. The accessories, though, are awesome. Overall, very good figure. If you need a Roman Reigns, I'd say get this one. And it keeps going out of focus because the figure's in the background. Let's go ahead and move on now. We've got a few more to Mr. Randy Orton. Let me go ahead and move these out of the way, or just push them back a little bit. Here we've got the Orton. Like I said, this head scan looked way better in real life. I should have listened to Jesus. I was talking to him about ordering this figure, and he told me, yeah, that head scan isn't that great, but I still kind of like it, although it's not that great. Let's go ahead and open this up. This is my first time getting an Elite Orton in a really long time, probably since the Flashback Legend Killer one. It has been a while, but they also kind of slowed down on making his Elites as well. I've always wanted the WrestleMania 31 attire that they never made in Elite form. There we go. Love this packaging. It's WrestleMania 34 packaging. And here is Orton, of course, comes with, this is probably like my 10th WWE Championship. I own so many of these. Here's another one. Nothing unique about it. Just a regular WWE Championship. And then here we have Orton. And, of course, he has an accessory, the vest. I really got to move this out of the way. I apologize for all the focusing issues, but looking at the sweatshirt or the sleeveless hoodie that Orton's been wearing, you know, it's got some Nice detailings. The zipper is white, and there's an outline right there, and there's even a really tiny Viper logo on the back. You've got that same logo right here. You know, it's interesting. It's the softer rubber, so it's not going to be that difficult to take off. It's not like that old Cody Rhodes figure where the hoodie was just straight up plastic and it was hard to take off. And here we've got the Orton. Now, obviously, the most standout part about this figure is the head scan, which it's not terrible, but it's not great. I don't really know how to describe it. It's somewhere in the middle. I am going to be probably swapping this onto the the Elite 35, I should say, just because I really like that attire, and also swapping the hands. But the head scan, it looks kind of old. I think that's the problem, is that it makes Orton look a little bit older from the front. It's a similar thing with Matt Hardy, where I think if you look at it from the sides, it looks a lot like Orton, but then straight on, I think maybe the way the eye is painted, that right eye is a little wonky. Other than that, you know, it's a fairly standard Orton figure. You got the design on the back, which is in kind of a white gray, and then on the front, I believe there is some painting right over there, but it's pretty hard to spot. It's not the most colorful attire by any means. Obviously, he has his hand tape, his knee pads, and I don't know if it's just me, but I wish they would go back to the old Orton arm mode, the skinnier ones. I think I preferred it over these. There's just the way that these feel on the figure. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but I guess it's more accurate since Orton arms are not actually that skinny in real life. So there's Orton, another pretty good figure. You know, not the most colorful or anything, but, you know, still pretty good. We're going to move on now to Heath Slater, our second to last before looking on to Goldberg. I don't really think I should spend that much time on Heath. I mean, it's Heath Slater after all, right? Here we go. Just gonna open this one up. This hits the ground and it is so loud on my table. He comes with a SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship, which is really the main reason why I ordered this. I could have just ordered it on eBay, but I also kind of wanted the new Heath Slater figure. Or not new, but you know what I mean. There we go. Because I have an older Heath Slater, but I might do a fix-up, swap the arms or something. So there we go. There's the Tag Team Championship. Obviously comes with his I Got Kids t-shirt and a really, really good head scan. I should point out, I'm a very big fan of this Heath Slater head scan. Looks exactly like him. The I Got Kids t-shirt is unfortunately plastic, or rubber, and not the cloth, which kind of sucks. He's got his tattoos, the terrible new elbows, and then the tights are actually really cool looking. I love this color scheme a lot. The dark purple and orange and black, and even some white and yellow in there. Very interesting tight designs by Heath. I don't even know what that says on the back, or on the side I should say. Really, really cool. So I'm going to be swapping these arms because I don't like them. Also just some traditional black boots, whatnot. Oh, there actually are logos on them. I think it says S for Slater. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm going to be swapping the arms just because I hate these. And I'm going to be putting the older ones on there with the long wrist tape, so it looks way better. You know, Heath Slater is definitely not the greatest wrestler of all time, but he's someone I've always found really entertaining, especially when the brand split first happened, and then, of course, he won the tag titles with Rhino. It was great, so there we go. There's Heath Slater. Again, not the most interesting figure, but the last one we're going to move on to here is the Defining Moments Chris Jericho, a flashback Chris Jericho from when he was undisputed champion. There's the back if you want to read it, but barely anybody does. So we're going to just go ahead and tear this open. I know some people really like the Defining Moments packaging, but I personally have never been I've never kept my figures mock or anything, so we're just going to crack this open. And it does have a really cool back piece. It has an actual image of Jericho right there, but we're going to take the figure out completely. I'll put that to the side or something. And of course reveal the accessories that he comes with, being the Globe Championship, which I used on the first episode start to finish for a custom title, as well as a big gold heavyweight championship. Ones that I have are really, really like scuffed up and just not in great condition, so this is really good to have. Very excited to have that back. And then another Globe title, which I've had many of these. But looking at the actual Jericho figure, if we can take it out, he's got, they've reused this head scan before for a modern Jericho with the faux hawk, I should say, instead of like the longer hair. So they just reused a head scan, but it's painted very uniquely with the red tips as well as on the back. So definitely going to stand out from your other Jericho figures. The tights also are really, really cool. You know, I kind of want to do a fix-up with this figure and put a modern head scan on it just because I've always liked Jericho in the long tights, but obviously it's not accurate. I know people have issues with that, but maybe in the next start to finish we'll mess around with it. Tights are really cool. They've got some nice logos, and then you've got the Jericho in gold, which I don't know why. I've always loved it when Jericho's had these kick pads with the Jericho in gold. Like I said, I've just always appreciated that. So that's a Jericho, you know, a decent figure. Not the greatest, not the worst, you know. I love the World Heavyweight Championship that he comes with. It is one of my favorite championship designs of all time. But as a flashback, it's great, you know. You get what you pay for. A lot of really cool accessories. Maybe if he would have came with a vest or something, that would have been nice. But still some really cool accessories, like I said, especially this World Heavyweight Championship. And you can have Jericho be the undisputed champion again. So, really cool figures. Let's go ahead and get them all out together. For right now, this is just the beginning of all of the stuff that we have to unbox, but I'm glad to knock all of these off my list that I've wanted for a pretty good amount of time. Very nice to have them here. We have here's a little still shot of all of them. Looks pretty nice. Let's go ahead, I think, move on to the Goldberg ring, but maybe the pre-orders. Again, I haven't filmed this yet because I'm still waiting on them, but let's go ahead and move on. Alright, so here I have it standing up on my table, the whole entire set. That's going to be kind of hard to do with my lighting. I'm probably going to have a little time lapse here of me opening it just because this is kind of going to take a while, so let's go ahead and do that. We actually have Goldberg himself right here. Finally, after trying to get all this out. Can't wait to get a closer look at him, but I'm just going to go ahead and take everything out because it's kind of going to take a while. So my plan was to film me doing this whole thing, but I just don't have the room for it. Sorry, I'm hitting my tripod. Here's progress update number 1. I got one barrier on, or one ring apron on. Going to do the other side, connect the ring posts. I'd probably just skip to the final product because this is taking a little bit longer. I originally did it wrong and had the bottom panels flipped, so that was kind of aggravating. I'm going to go ahead and probably skip to the final product or something. I legitimately almost had an aneurysm putting together this commentating table. They're the standard ones that Mattel's use. I don't know why the front of mine is like, has a lot of weird stains on it. I won't comment on that, but it's basically built the same way with the two side panels, the front one, and then the top piece that all connect together. It's really wonky, and I assume they did it on purpose so that you can slam figures through it, which I guess is what it's intended for. Obviously, I'm going to move it out of the ring now, and I have the very famous commentating duo of Roman Reigns and Paul Bearer. I don't know why, they were the first figures in my bin that I picked up. So I'm going to go ahead and move this, give my official review of the ring, which overall is very positive. Now, maybe that's because I had lower expectations, because this obviously is not an elite scale ring. It's not an authentic scale ring, whatever you want to call it. It's, you know, it's like a mix of a spring ring, the plastic rings, and an elite scale ring, because obviously its size. I think that the posts could be longer, or taller, I should say. I'll grab a figure for comparison here. We have my Seth Rollins figure, and you can kind of see there in the background. He's kind of a little bit, well, that's not a great example. He's kind of a little bit too tall compared to it. So that's maybe the one downside of it. But other than that, I think it's very well built for a plastic ring. I'm probably going to be using this for some videos, just because I think it looks really clean with the blue and obviously the standard Mattel design. There we have a stretcher. Got just some accessories in the ring. Overall, very positive review, but let's go ahead move on to Goldberg, which was actually the main reason why I bought this ring. Actually, before we move on to Goldberg, I wanted to point out this thing. Obviously, the button at top will light up the ring, as well as some of the ring aprons, which is a pretty neat design. Not that great, but okay, now we'll actually review Goldberg. For years and years, I have wanted a Goldberg figure of my own. I even had a custom a little while back. Goldberg has easily been one of the most anticipated figures before it released, because Goldberg was not under contract until fairly recently, and they finally released a figure of him. So of course we're going to look at the head scan. This head scan obviously is based off Goldberg's most recent run as Universal Champion, and there is a very good resemblance to him. Of course, it's got the gray beard, his signature beard. I actually saw my friend Jesus did a fix-up, and he painted it black to match sort of the 2003-ish era of Goldberg, which is something I might do, because Old Goldberg, his most recent one, not my favorite Goldberg. But there's a great resemblance to him. I think this is a fine head scan. The Jack's head scan is pretty good. I think I would prefer it over this one. But this is still good by any means. Now we have the chest. Obviously, he's got his signature chest hair, which is also on a lot of Goldberg customs. His tattoo on his left shoulder. His elbow pads. His gloves, of course, his MMA-style gloves that he's always worn. Very cool looking. No logos on them. Now we get onto the tights. You could see the bottom part of them are actually chipped, which is a little bit annoying because it's such a thin layer of white that it's going to chip. So it's annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. That same logo is on the back in white, and he's got the white outline on both sides. Of course, signature Goldberg-style logo and tights, or trunks, I should say. He's got his knee pads, which I actually might be swapping for some open ones, like these Stone Cold, you know, the ones that are open in the back. I think that would look better. I don't know why I almost dropped him. Also, probably going to add a knee brace as well. I actually missed it there. He does have a tattoo right there. Didn't realize that. Are there any other ones? No. Okay. And then, of course, his short boots. So, Goldberg, his attires are usually fairly basic. The black trunks, the MMA-style gloves and such. It's what you would expect with him. Looks like him. It matches his attire, so I honestly don't see that many complaints other than the paint job on mine. But I do hope we do get more Goldberg figures. I'm honestly not sure if he's under a Legends contract or not and whether we're going to get more figures. I would certainly hope that we get a WCW era of Goldberg. But either way, very much enjoy it. I recommend you get it, and if you're going to get it on Amazon for $65, I would say do it because the Goldberg itself is going for $40, like I said earlier, so for $25 they get a pretty decent ring if you need one. Honestly, not that bad of a deal, so very happy with this. And then we can kind of get a little bit of a stare down here between Reigns and Goldberg. Whose spear do you prefer? I know everyone's going to say Goldberg, but that's a stupid question. Alright, there we go. I'm done with this ring. Alright, so like I said, originally we were going to wait for two more figures from Amazon, but I actually placed an order from Ringside Collectibles, 2 of them, which is why they're in 2 different boxes. This one I placed a few days ago, then the day after I ordered this thing because, I needed it, and I realized after I ordered this one I should probably get it. And I'll explain it. It also has to do why my setup is a little bit different from before, so we're going to go ahead and cut this open. I actually have a knife, so this is going to be way easier than the keys I was using. I'm actually kind of mad because UPS said they attempted delivery, but yet they didn't even ring my apartment, and then 30 minutes later I got a package from USPS, so it's pretty obvious why USPS, I should say, is better than UPS. But here's the small item that I ordered, and as you can see, this is the guardrail playset sort of thing. Yeah, I guess it's a guardrail playset, the NXT one. And I ordered this because I am working on a new arena setup for the first time in a while, so I can take pictures, do videos and such. Comes with a lot of really cool guardrails that I'll be setting up all over, which is really nice. I think I might just take it out to review them one by one. But I mean, I'm not really going to be using the NXT part, just the standard guardrails itself. Here we have 1 figure and 2 accessories that I'm really excited to open because, well, I actually I'll kind of have the backstory set up, but we'll just get it open, I guess. It's a figure I already have, so I'm not going to be reviewing it, although I can talk about it a little bit. Try to get it out. Here we go. Bada boom. Okay, and as you can see, the accessories fell out. We'll talk about that, though, afterwards. Let me put this right over there. We've got the Elite 58 Jeff Hardy, I believe, which I ordered again because I want to do a fix-up on my other Jeff Hardy custom, the one that BW Figs made me a while ago. Let me try to locate it. So here it is. Here's the custom BW Figs made me. Shout out to him. He's got a new channel, though. So yeah, so my plan is to do a head swap because I really like this body, the all black and the white shoes plus the shirt. And I think this head skin is going to look really good on it. So that will probably be on the next episode of Start to Finish. As for the accessories that I ordered, we have the loose, and the first time I've actually ever owned these, the loose SmackDown Throwback Tag Team Championships, which is amazing to finally own. I'm really mad because on Ringside's newest sale, they also had the Raw versions, and I was going to order them a day later, but they sold out, so only the SmackDown ones are left, so I just ordered them right away. I mean, they are so awesome looking. Probably my favorite set of tag team titles. The throwback Raw ones, though, from like 06 are really cool, though. It just reminds me a lot of my childhood when I first started watching wrestling. When I think of these titles, I think of Eminem, I think of Batista and Rey Mysterio, Lundrick. You know, there are a lot of teams that held these titles and they are really cool looking. So there we go. That was just a small little package opening right there. Well, I guess I can also open this up just to see what it looks like. Wow, this actually comes with, oh my god, a lot more than I expected. Oh my god, how many pieces is this? Let's probably check the box. Does it say anywhere? Does it say 80 pieces? Wow. My goodness. Here are the guardrails in case you have never seen them. They are in scale. They are the silver ones. Of course, they're using NXT and also, like, you know, most of the indie shows. It gives it a nice look. Here they are. I think this is the only piece that connects them. I thought they maybe be a little bit bigger, but bada boom. So I'm going to probably set up some fans and everything. We've got 2 sets of them to make my arena look nice. Not going to really be using this NXT part, I don't think, but also have some, I think the gear pieces are going to connect them. So that's really cool. Definitely stay tuned to the next episode start to finish for the Jeff Hardy fix-up and also a lot of the other fix-ups. But now we're going to go ahead and cut to, I believe, the unboxing from Amazon. Sucks UPS had to delay it because otherwise I would have had this mail call sooner. But anyways, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, it is now the next day. I finally have our last package from Amazon. I've been posting about it on my story. Obviously, this was delivered from UPS and they just did an awful job of apparently attempting to deliver it to my house, which they didn't do, and then I went to the store the following day to pick it up and it wasn't there and we had to wait for the driver to get there. But we finally have our last 2 figures in here to close out Mail Call 99, so let's go ahead and just get them opened. We're closing out the episode strong here with some amazing new figures that were just in stock. And as you can see, we've got the best of Attitude Era Elites. Let's get them both out at the same time throughout the box. As you can see, I kind of have my guardrails are set up in a way. I'm still working on it, but it will be done shortly. Let's go ahead and look at our first figure right here, which is the best of Attitude Era Stone Cold. Would you look at that championship? We get the Globe WWE Championship finally with the blue strap that, of course, Austin, I believe, introduced with that segment with Vince, which is awesome. So it's nice to get that strap. It's just amazing. Obviously, the Stone Cold figure we will review, which is awesome. This one I'm not as excited for, but I still am really looking forward to how this is going to turn out. The one I was mainly looking forward to is a figure a lot of us have been asking for a long time, and that, of course, is the debut attire, I should say, of Chris Jericho. Of course, we've gotten a basic of this figure, the entrance grates, but now to get it in elite form is amazing. I wish I had the entrance grates accessories. It would fit perfectly on here, but still, this is really cool, so it's going to be awesome to get a look at finally another flashback Chris Jericho, or at least in his debut attire, because we have gotten a few flashbacks. Packaging is really awesome. Love that picture of Jericho. Looks really, really, really cool. So I'm mainly excited for this one. They're both 20 each. You can get them on Amazon right now for 20 each. So yeah, let's go ahead. First ever best of Attitude Era figures. Let's go ahead and get them both out of their packaging and take a look and see which one is better. I guess we can start things off here with Stone Cold. We'll review him first just because, like I said, I'm not as excited for him as I am for Mr. Jericho. So let's go ahead and cut him open, get a look. He does come with a lot of accessories, which is awesome. Of course, I love figures that come with many accessories to kind of make up for a more basic figure. Let's go ahead and just get him out of this packaging, though. And we will look at all the accessories, starting first here with your traditional standard microphone. We can get a little zoom in right there. Just has the old WWE logo actually on it, not the WWF logo, just the classic WWE one, because obviously they don't have the rights to WWF anymore. And then it comes with a hat, which we'll put on him and look at. It's got the skull logo on it. A necklace that's come on, I believe, a few different Austin figures, like the Defining Moments, which I believe this is actually just kind of as a re-release of the Defining Moments with different accessories. A Stone Cold Steve Austin University t-shirt, SCU, which is awesome. But the most important accessory, of course, the most unique one, is the blue strap WWE Championship. We've gotten this title before, but with the black strap. The blue one, though, extremely unique and is also just really good looking. Let's go ahead, put it together, make him hold it, see how it looks. Well, I guess it kind of unstrapped, but there you go. You can see it. It is really, really cool looking. One of the coolest straps I think of all time. The color is just amazing. Pops perfectly. think it's the accurate color as well. Maybe it's a little darker in real life, but you know what? It still looks really, really great. Looking at the actual Austin figure itself by taking off all of his accessories, it's basically, if I am correct, the same mold and re-release of the Defining Moments trying to take off his shirt. Obviously, it's the Stone Cold torso and just some blue jeans, and that's really it. It is a kind of basic figure, but a really good street fight attire, just like non-wrestling attire of Stone Cold. All the accessories are really awesome, so definitely really cool, though I have a feeling Jericho is going to be way better. And speaking of Jericho, let me just throw out that garbage. We're going to take him out of his casing right now. Ever since they released the entrance grates, I have always wanted to see this attire in elite form, and it is nice to finally see it. So just like Austin, he comes with a microphone, that same exact microphone. Of course, Jericho wore this attire. He cut a promo on The Rock on his debut. So let's go ahead and take him out right there. You know, it's got the same head scan as the entrance grates, which is a good flashback Jericho head scan. I think it's only been used maybe on a basic before, but it is a awesome head scan. You've got the ponytail, just some flat blonde hair. I don't think there's a lot of detailing going on. The ponytail looks great, though. The face does look like Jericho. The facial hair is great. I think to differentiate this one from the entrance grates, they should have done what they did here on the packaging and gave him the full beard rather than just the goatee. But I'm not really complaining. It's not that big of a deal. The attire, base attire, I should say, the base tights color is red, and then you've got some silver and black sort of barbed wire look going on. The one complaint I have about this figure is the knee pads. If I am correct, the knee pads were black when he wore this, so in the next episode, start to finish, I am going to be putting some black knee pads on there to make it look better. I think it just looks a little weird that it matches the attire and its knee pads. It's just a little bit off. But they, of course, continued the design. But I think with black kick pads, or knee pads, I should say, it'll look really good. And then, of course, you've got those Jericho kick pads with the Jericho on the right in gold, which looks really, really awesome. So this figure is very good. Again, the only complaint that I would have is possibly maybe the beard on the face not being different from the re-release, even though it's an elite, obviously, and the knee pads. Other than that, though, it is a fantastic figure. Let's go ahead and put the blue strap WWE Championship on him. This looks really, really good. But that is going to do it for this episode of Mail Call. I forgot to say, I definitely give the edge to Jericho on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode, Mail Call 99. Coming up next, of course, is Mail Call 100, which I might have some announcements soon about that, so stay tuned. I'm hoping to definitely get it out before the summer is over, because it is going to be a big episode. If you thought this one is big, wait till 100, because it's going to be awesome. But again, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, stay tuned to the next one, which of course is Mail Call 100.